What's up, Devils? J-Dog back to answer more goddamn questions. First, we got 2 paid screwies, and then an order question that was emailed in, and then channel questions, goddammit. First paid question is from Tommy Becker. Granted, it's not really a question. I think he's just, he wanted to reply to me, but he said 20 USD. Yeah, we already know fucking Tommy, man. He's sent over more goddamn payments than everybody. After that is fucking Rob Green. He's next in line. They're like fucking duking it out who can get more in. But they're definitely the top 2 by a very large goddamn margin. Hey, Doggy Dog, thanks for the in-depth answers. I think, I answered his questions on today's video that I posted. So he was just inspired to send more, which is fine by me. I'm not really a fat boy. Maybe he just had to clarify that. I'm 6'3" and 240. I just like to be able to wear 2 pair in the winter, and yes, I have 5 2XL pair. Incantation Nunslaughter. He's talking about the sweatpants because he was the guy asking about the getting 3XLs in sweatpants. And again, maybe in the future we will, but the sweatpants format, that's kind of a newer product that we've stocked. So we're been doing it for what, a year now, 2 years? Still relatively in its infancy, and especially when we first started, we're like, what sizes should we get? We didn't know because we never sold anything pants or anything, just shirts and hoodies basically. So it was kind of like a new format, like ease the fuck in. Don't want to be sitting on a bunch of goddamn dead stock. So, but it's possible, yes, and especially if it's a format that really picks up and fucking blows up. Like fuck, I could see like certain bands would sell better on sweatpants than others. Obviously, like I could see the goddamn Dying Fetus crowd being a sweatpant crowd. You can see the TISH crowd being a sweatpant crowd. So I don't know why the fuck we ain't doing goddamn TISH sweatpants. Maybe the band's doing it themselves. But like, say we got licensed to be able to put out Dying Fetus sweatpants, which I'd be all goddamn for. Highly doubt we will. I'm sure it'd be indie merch or something like that. Then maybe we would start stocking 3XLs of those because I get the vibe that's Dying Fetus is a sweatpants type of crowd and a fat boy crowd. So we need those 3XLs. Just the goddamn vibe I get. Like, you guys ever notice that? Like, is it just me? Like, it seems like when you're at a show, you see those fucking behemothly fucking huge motherfuckers. They're deplorably overweight that are listening. It's usually wearing a Cryptopsy shirt, Suffocation, or Dying Fetus. Is it just me, or is it just goddamn me? I've seen that like multiple goddamn times. Nunslaughter, etc., etc. I understand you can't carry them just for me. Hopefully, a bunch of other big hells dudes speak up. They can, especially if we got goddamn Fetus, I'm sure. Suffocation too. That'd be a Suffocation would be a pants crowd. Big boy crowd too, like I said, based on my goddamn what I've seen. Thanks again. Keep killing it. Tommy Becker. You got it, Brotown. Jordan Crowell. Cheers from California. Wanted to know if you've checked out the thrash metal band Sentinel Hill. Definitely not commune music. I have not until today. You sent to me. I YouTubed it. Nothing came up. Then I went over to Metal Archives and saw they just have a demo. As a matter of fact, do I still have it pulled up on Metal Archives? I'll just type it in. I think it was a demo that came out last year. That's all I had, those one demo. Horrors Kingdom demo 2022, and it came right up on Bandcamp. I searched it. Thought it was pretty good. I was definitely pretty enjoyable. A little bit, there's some vocal tones and some of the lyrics that were a little bit amateur, seemed a little bit kind of childish. But ironically enough, a lot of times I kind of like that because it's almost like simplistic. Well, hell, according to goddamn Kyle from fucking Incantation, he never liked anything by Deicide. He's like, oh, that band is so goddamn childish. Not my words, his words. It's on the fucking interview, so in case anybody wants to fucking, what are you talking shit about, Kyle? He said it right in my fucking interview, dumb. His words, not mine. But and I have heard people say that in the past. But I kind of like that shit. I don't like this. I got to go get a Harvard education to fucking figure out goddamn lyrics. It's about philosophy and shit. What the fuck ever, brah. I'm into the goddamn cool shit. I don't want to be fucking equals MC squared dumb shit. But it did come off as a bit like middle school kiddish at times. Some of the stuff he'd say that you can understand. But all in all, I thought it was a pretty enjoyable release. So yeah, it was definitely worth a listen. Now I do get the feeling because what was gave it charisma that the charisma it had was the sound of the demo. It had the bass really was thick and stood out, and it just really fit the music. But I have a feeling what's going to happen is because it's like a death thrash band, I'm more of on the thrash side with a pinch of death. They're going to go record an album, and it's going to be like, oh, studio recording that just sounds mid as fuck. Heard this a million times. Got to sound professional, man. Got to clean it up. We're good. We're better players now. That type of shit. You get it. This fucking sucks. Demo was good. I'm a huge fan. That's what it'll be because that's what it is 99% of the fucking time. So yeah, I check them out. So check out Sentinel Hill. Now this is an order goddamn question. Email this in. Alex Jorgensen. Seems like you haven't mentioned Mortem on the channel too much. Not too much, but I've somewhat brought him up. He's talking about Mortem from Peru. At least I assume so. The other one, who gives a shit about that? By far, one of the most evil, sickest death metal bands on the planet, crafting the old school way for sure. I don't know if they're the most evil, sickest bands. I didn't get that fucking vibe, but definitely a band that doesn't seem to get enough recognition. Yes and no, because again, I see the stats, and when we stock them in Hells, it's always sold fairly steady. Definitely not a goddamn dog bone. Trying to think of another band around that caliber, or even that style, or just UG music that they outsell like very noticeably. Who does Mortem outsell? It might be kind of like that fan base. Can't think of anybody, but it's not. Yeah, we get it in, it moves. You know what I mean? So it's not like it doesn't fly out the fucking door, but it doesn't just sit and collect goddamn dust either. This shit definitely does, believe it or not. Definitely a band that doesn't seem to get it for. Let me know if you have any favorite Mortem albums or stories from this cult band. I don't live in Peru, Rob Ross, so I definitely got no stories. Looking out for the new Mortuary Drape, I'll be ordering that one, no doubts. Mortem, the only stories I have, I mean, it's not a story, it's what I picked up. It's, what is it, Merciless Records, I put those out. Demon Tales and The Devil Speaks in Tongues. Demon Tales, I think, is the best thing. That's pretty much all I needed. There was the other stuff, the De Natura, whatever. It's all decent stuff. I liked them. Even Demon Tales and stuff, I think the triggers sound like shit. And it's a band, I enjoy the releases, but it's not a very often spin. It seems like, as a matter of fact, I listened to Mortem, and it was Demon Tales. I listened to that this year or last year, but prior to that, it was the last time I listened to it was probably 10 years ago, prior to that. But I got those LPs. They both own those both on vinyl. Well, I own Demon Tales on LP for sure. Devil Speaks in Tongues. I think I have a CD and picture disc or a picture disc and LP. I forget exactly what. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good stuff, in the vein of, very early Sacrifice, and you can hear some, early Death, Possessed. But I remember the triggers just sounded like shit. It was just kind of eh, a less fucking grabs you by the nuts of the bands I just said. I thought those bands were just better. They're just superior. The Sacrifices, when I say Sacrifice, more so like Torment and Fire era, Death, Scream, Bloody Gore, even a little bit of Sadistic Intent, Possessed, Seven Churches, because it was for that fan base, that style of music. I just thought that stuff was so far, far superior. But yeah, it is a good band. Well, I own the goddamn shit, so I mean, I didn't think it sucked by no means. But they weren't a band that I needed 10 hours by. But I've listened to other stuff. I mean, remember that De Natura album came out on Iron Pegasus? I put it on, I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but it's nothing I didn't pick that one up. I was, yeah, I'm good. Don't need it, but it was, it was good. It was good metal. It's definitely super respectable shit, and fits the bill. And they had the metal spirits. And dude, I don't need to ask the guys if they know about the fucking J Dog dress code. They'd probably be like, that's not. Again, never even met the fucking guys, know nothing about them, but I could just get the vibe that they'd be like, yeah, like that's not a J Dog dress code. That's just that's just being in the metal. They'd probably have a response like that. It's like, yeah, yeah, who doesn't know that? So they know what's up. I know that at least. Goddamn channel questions. Harry Quinn. New Destroyer 666 ripped, I thought. Thought so too, brah brah. Don't need to tell me. I said it multiple times on the channel. You're out of your mind if you think the new Cannibal Corpse beat it. Well, I don't know if I ever fucking said the new Cannibal Corpse beat the new Destroyer 666. I don't think I said that. As a matter of fact, if I had to pick one, no, I think I did like the new Destroyer 666 over the new Cannibal Corpse. Now, do I like Cannibal Corpse more as a whole as a band? Yes. But both of those bands putting out their new albums, but I wasn't comparing and contrasting. I mean, the new Cannibal came out this year in 2023. The Destroyer 666 was last year. So why are we comparing the two? But if you have to compare like bands I talk about and bring up their last two albums, I mean, their last album each one put out, yeah, I did like the Destroyer more. What the fuck did I say otherwise, goddammit? Ryan and Zerda, question. You never have brought up Whip Striker. What are your thoughts? Question mark. I like them. You know what? To be honest, they're probably in the Mortem camp. So, Mortem from Peru. Like them, don't love them, don't listen to them that often. But every time I put them on, I'm entertained. Just like, for example, every time I put on Demon Tales, like I said, Devil Speaks in Tongues too, but primarily Demon Tales. I thought that was definitely the best thing. I'm thoroughly entertained. But do I like it as much as, some of my favorite bands that I bring up? Like, is it my top 10? No. But Whip Striker, it was definitely entertained. I own a couple of things. We got to release them. We did their one album, CDLP of it. It was 7-inch too. I think we just did the one album. But they got they got multiple releases in 7 inches, and then they got those kind of like Nunslaughter did, the Devil's Conjurings Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4. They got two compilation CDs, LPs with their 7 inches, EPs. I can't sit there and recite songs and shit by them, but I do enjoy them when I put them on. I'm not a huge fanatical casual listener, but I do own a couple things. But they were just, they were that Venom, Motorhead type crowd that played good songs, but kind of like that wasn't the preferred style that I needed multiple bands by. Let's just say that. Some people that's theirs, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like if I had multiple bands, I prefer a band like Deicide, to be honest with you. That was just me. That's the kind of shit like I wouldn't mind multiple bands. Hell, even Cannibal, early Cannibal especially. Bands like Sinister. That was kind of more the style of shit that I preferred. Hell, you can even say the Swedish death metal scene because I like what a good dozen plus bands that are pure Swedish death metal, like the Swedish guitar tone, guitar tone death metal. If you added them all up, I mean, it's got to be more than 10 bands. So I just prefer that style. I don't need 10 plus bands that are in the Venom Motorhead sound. Again, I can understand why someone does. That's why just like Athnar side project band, he did that from Midnight. He started that band White Spade. I put it on, I'm like, yeah, I'm entertained, but I'm like, it's another Venom Motorhead. Like I'm not that excited about that stuff. That's why my socks weren't blown off by the band Speedwolf. But some people, Venom and Motorhead, that's what they prefer. They want to hear all the Venom and Motorhead that they could get their goddamn hands on. I get it. I do totally get it. It's just not my number one goddamn preference. So, I got a couple bands here and there. I'm good. That's all. So I put them in that category. But every time I do listen to them, and everything I have listened to, I was entertained while it was on. And speaking of that style, because Whip Striker sells fairly decent, Mortem from Peru does sell better as a whole, I would say, than Whip Striker. But Whip Striker's not a total goddamn dog bone. Don't gotta wipe no cobwebs off when you're pulling it. But if I had to pick, because we flew out the door when we put out that Speedwolf, that flew out the door. Personally, though, I prefer Whip Striker. So if I had to choose the two, who would I rather have? Whip Striker for sure. But Speedwolf way outsold them. So that was kind of another thing that, because I didn't think the Speedwolf sucked. I'm just kind of, it's okay. I mean, it's fine. It's just this Motorhead type shit that I've heard a million times. What's so goddamn special about it? And my critique to those people, same with these guys that like these newer popular death metal bands, I'm like, okay, you like them, that's cool. I don't understand. But when we're talking about that style for Speedwolf, I was like, why don't you like a band like Whip Striker? I was like, I know a lot of you don't because Speedwolf outsells it by a milestone. That was my argument for the Tomb Moles, the 200 Stab was the people like that. But a band like Boulder or a band like Shed the Skin, like newer death metal bands in the last 10 years, they don't ever bring up. They're not a fan of. They don't care about. I'm like, I don't get it. Like if you're into that kind of stuff, newer bands checking them out in the death metal style, And again, you don't have to like every band, and maybe you don't like their songs. I get it, but I was like, that many different of a people. I mean, how many fucking fans out there like the 200 Wimp Wounds, whatever their fan base is, how many releases they sold compared to Molder, compared to Shed the Skin that I just mentioned, compared to Faith Extractor? It should be somewhat up their alley, those bands, you would think. And again, even if, I mean, you would think maybe what? Half of them would like them? 2/3? Doesn't even seem like it's that, is what I'm getting at. So what I notice on that, it's just like most of the people that are supporting it, yes, there's the true heads that love their 200 samples. Like, man, this album really rocks my socks off. I get it. I'm sure there's those people. There's 100%. But I think a lot of it's just a bunch of fucking posers following them because that's who's in the presence of social media. That's who people's talking about. So, oh, this is the cool band to follow? Yeah, this is what I'm going to look cool if I wear a t-shirt. I seriously think that's what it is. That doesn't just go for them. That goes for the Speed Wolves. That goes for whoever the trend is at that time. Black metal, death metal, grindcore. And that's why that particular band blows the fuck up. And don't get me wrong, it happens for bands that I like too. I'm sure that's part of Cannibal Corpse's claim to fame. It was that band in Ace Ventura. That's what helped them blow them up. Yeah, they're my favorite band, but at the same time, that's just because it's the first death metal band I heard. So, I mean, are they? Let's call it like it is. I mean, is the Bleeding that much better than Diabolical Summoning by Sinister? You can make the argument. Diabolical Summoning sends it home on a stretcher. That's an argument. But is it even half as popular? Fuck no. Why is that? Because a bunch of fucking posers fall. Again, yes, I like Cannibal War, so I'm in that guilty cut too. But it's just because I heard them first. It was the first death metal. It's not even like I heard them before Sinister. It was literally the first death metal band I heard. That's it. These idiots, they're a lot of the trend hoppers, followers, they're just saying it because by default, that's what you're supposed to say. You see what I'm saying? So that shit's just fucking annoying. H.U.W. Morgan can't even rattle off 10 2023 albums? No, I can't. It's like watching a 1982 computer game loading. Should be rattling 20 off like a machine gun, brah. Not really, man, because, again, 2023, what albums came out in 2023 that I give a fuck about? Two are coming into my mind. Dying Fetus, Cannibal Corpse. Who else? Who else? Destroyer 666 was last year. Again, I'm talking new studio albums. Well, what about, he doesn't even mention Hell's release and shit. A lot of it was reissues and stuff. That's not a new 2023 studio fucking album. None Slaughters was like last year, right? Spider was last year, the year before. Was the new Abysmal Lord 2023 or was that 2022? No, the LPs came in this year. If that's 2023, okay, let's just say it is. It is. I can't remember which it is. Again, no reason I can't write them off either, man. Dude, a year for me, my time fucking flies. A year for me, literally, and I'm not even exaggerating, feels like it's like 2 weeks long. That's what a year is like for me. Starting this channel, that's why they crack me out and I bust these guys' fucking balls. Dude, old Watcher the dog. The dog is fucking baby ass fresh fucking new. What are you talking about? This channel's been around. Yeah, in a couple weeks, it's going to be 2 years. 2 years is nothing. I literally remember starting this channel like it was last night. It actually was 2 years ago. So, can't rattle off 2023 albums? Dude, between 2020 and 2020 to 2023, those 4 years combined, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 4 fucking years. It seems like all one goddamn year. I'd be rattling shit off. That's not 23, that's 22. So no, could I rattle off that I was like 100% positive came out this year? No, a lot of it blurs together. And then again, and I realize that's the case. And now I'm starting to exclude. Okay, well, what do I definitely know came out this year? Studio album that I liked. It's slim fucking pickings. I'm sorry. It's slim goddamn pickings. What was so great that came out in 2023 album? You could rattle off, you said like a goddamn machine gun. So you're saying you could rattle off 20 good albums? Studio albums, not releases, not things you bought in 2023. Yes, have I picked up more than 20 releases in the year 2023? Yeah. But they didn't come out this year. I mentioned those goddamn Infernal Wars. Brought that up. But those are early 2000s releases. Like Terrafront shit. That doesn't count. Get it? So yeah, what you can name 20 fucking good albums that came out this year? As a matter of fact, put it in the comments. Let's get that fucking toll going. Put me 20 good studio albums, not demos, not EPs, not re-releases, 20 brand new studio albums that came out this year. What are they? What? Please put them in there. I would fucking love to know. I got Cannibal and I got Dying Fetus. What about Incantation, dog? I'll be honest with you. I didn't even fucking listen to it. I kind of checked out Incantation a few albums ago. And not to mention, Kyle in the interview gave a disclaimer. It's slow as fuck. Thanks for the disclaimer. I don't need to listen to it, though, man. Because that was the worst part about Incans of the albums I did like, was the very, very slow parts. And he told me, he's like, oh, you're going to hate it, man. He's like, we amped that up. Thanks for letting me know, because I got plenty to listen to. That means I don't need to listen to it. So that wasn't one that I was going to like. I already know by default I'm not going to like it then. Deicide didn't come out this year. King Diamond's still totally pussyfooting around. I guess that's finally fucking next year. It's about motherfucking time. 5-year goddamn delay, even though the shit was already written. New Christian? When was that? That was last year, wasn't it? Maybe the year before? And even that I thought was pretty good. I didn't think it was fucking great. Socks weren't blowing off. It had some songs I liked, some I didn't. Definitely parts I liked, parts I didn't. So I don't even know if I'd rattle that off like a machine gun. Like, fuck yeah, I gotta put that in there. Was Immolation this year? Acts of God? If that was, okay, we're up to 3. I can't remember if it was last year or this year. Again, blurs together like a motherfucker. I think it was last year, actually. But maybe it was this year, early this year. 3. Who else we got? Let's go for some black metal. Satanic War Master. When that album come out? Wasn't that the end of last year? If that was this year, fine. Okay, Satanic War Master this year. Maybe Abysmal Lord. That was this year. We got maybe 4 or 5 things, and I'm really stretching here. Goddamn it! Put your goddamn 20 of 2023. Put it in there, please, because I need a good goddamn laugh, because I'm sure there's some dumbass fucking hippie shit in there. It's like, no fuck, I couldn't rattle that off like a machine gun. It's a bunch of crap I could care less about. Comes question, you know the fucking do. Put the guy basket in the morning later, goddamn it.